Hello world, I am What If Studia, and today we're doing What If Deku was the spy. Now Deku starts off his life in a sort of odd way. He starts off, pretty antisocial as just a normal kid, and once he turned 5, this did not get better, as he attained a quirk called bloodletting. It's a sort of quirk where if you drink another person's blood, you become their quirk. You get that quirk. And this seen as, of course, a villain freaking quirk. He's of course bullied out the fucking wazoo by Bakugo and his friends. So while that happens, he's becoming more antisocial as the minute passes, So he becomes much more of a backline kind of guy, much more quiet and would rather, just comment on a situation instead of actually taking full force through it, while also planning how to complete it all in the background. So basically, yeah, he's that type of guy by this point. Once he turns 10, he becomes affiliated with the mafia in Japan. Now Japan has outsourcing to Italy and stuff like that. He's outsourced to Italy and he actually loves it there. However, there's some problems there. In Italy, there's sort of a sort of Toga, the problem child. She's begun to be known as. Toga kind of spends, all of her time being thrown around between different mafias, because nobody really wants her. So basically, she sticks around in this one because, she loves Deku for some reason. I don't know, she's obsessed with him. Anyways, she's constantly chasing him for like 4 years until he turns 15, and he finally wants to get away from her. So he, after dating her once and then just giving up, he gets a ticket back to frickin' the mafia in Japan. Now back in the mafia in Japan, they tell him that they have a job for him. He had become the legendary spy while he was in Italy, hosting multiple heists, posing as, the infiltrator 12 times, which is a record number for anybody. He's become kind of a legend, even though he's only 15. They'd be honored to have him do this one last mission with them. It's the last one that'll get your hands dirty, at least. Then you'll be set for life. Deku says, "I'm listening." As, he has his kind of knife by this point, and a knife that Toga gave him that was pretty special to her. He kind of likes it though, so he kind of keeps it. It will suck all the blood automatically out of somebody for him, which is really nice for him. It was actually a really nice gift from her, so he likes it. So he enters this kind of setting room where they start this host of event by All For One, who starts telling them about the plan, about everybody being sourced out to different places in the middle of the thing, and all he has to do, then All Might, kind of points him out of the crowd, saying that, you will be infiltrating and killing the main teacher, Aizawa. Watch out, he has no quirk, but he's still, he has an eraser quirk. However, you do not have a quirk. You do not have at least one that's useful. By the way, by this time he's taken a couple of quirks, mostly for just stealth quirks. He just has silent stepping and kind of a no matter how much he eats, he is continuously thin. Kind of useless quirks like that. But I would say that the thin one's probably the most powerful. Anyways, over the jokes. Basically, Deku is kind of known as a legendary spy, infiltrator of everything. So they're like, yeah, you'll go in first, pose as one of the students, and then kill Aizawa. That is your one mission, now go. So he goes out, and a mission directly from All For One is a pleasure to him, as he says, but he really doesn't mean it because he hates authority other than himself. So he kind of goes out and gains intel about all the students by going into the school. Basically stealing a lot of the intel about all the quirks, all the students' quirks. Before he leaves, he kind of, hears the doorbells ring. I mean, the bells ring as he didn't make sure that it was the latest time. He runs back in as all like the janitors come in, start like swelling in, and all the teachers come in at what, 6 o'clock? He's super surprised and also really mad that this happened. But the only place to hide is really under a desk. So he grabs like a cardboard box, puts it over his head, and hides under a desk. Once all the teachers and students come in, he's pictured in Class A1. So once Aizawa comes in with all the rest of the students, he counts all of them out through their names and quirks, and Aizawa his new target. So as they start to go, Aizawa tells everybody that they got to go on the bus to get to the place. Deku is left in the classroom looking out the door as they start to leave. He opens up the window as he jumps as hard as he can onto the bus. So he has silent feet. So basically all of his steps are pretty silent. So yeah, it's just a little wiggle on the bus basically. Not much suspicion there. So they start going, and once they get there, he stops the bus. Everybody gets off, and the last one to get off is Tenya Ida, as he was counting everybody. As he just closes the door, Deku uses the sound of the door closing as the time to chloroform, jump down and chloroform the heck out of frickin' Ida. As Ida struggles a lot, activating Super Burst, flying them through the air as he tries to like lock his arm around Ida's mouth with the chloroform on his arm, hooking the chloroform onto his face as he's just rocketing through the air. And then Ida falling asleep in the middle of the air while Super Bursting. They fall to the ground like 50 feet. Deku takes the fall as he didn't want. He has a thing about killing kids, so he doesn't really want to hurt Ida. He kind of puts Ida on his back as he falls. This, of course, hurts his legs quite a lot, but he survives. It's fine. He puts Ida up against the bus and takes his clothes. So now he kind of has this thing going where he wears the clothes of Ida, making it look like Ida's long behind them while staying in shadow. So they think that Ida is kind of, hanging back. This is suspicious, but they don't know anything about spies. However, Aizawa does, but he does not see. So Aizawa starts introducing the class to the place, to the UA, and then the villains start to appear. Aizawa getting into attack form with the scarves. He yells, Deku yells for Ida to go and get the pro heroes. Ida down the lane next to the bus actually hears this as he wakes up and starts running as fast as he can naked. Well, not fully naked. He still has underwear on, but when you're going at the speed that dude is running and you have underwear on, try to not stay naked. As all the kids are kind of, all the kids are teleported away, and Aizawa activates his scarf, starting up his quirk. As the villains start to do their monologue, Deku takes out his knife, holding it up to Aizawa's throat, holding him in a perfect lock position where he cannot use his arms to get out of it. If you even move a single step, you're dead. So basically, he holds Aizawa in this position for a little while, and then suddenly he feels a tug on his back. As as he sees that there's some type of invisible force behind him, he throws Aizawa at it, literally throwing Aizawa around, having him kick the invisible girl up against the wall. Suddenly Toga appears, as she was around the corner. She's like, "Hi, honey boo." He's like, "Oh god damn it, where can I go to get away from you?" She's like, "Oh, don't worry about this little thing. I like her look. I don't look like anything." Exactly. Deku says, "What are you gonna do with her?" She says, "What do you think? She's all mine. Don't even think about getting in my way. She's mine." Toga starts to get, like crouch down with her freaking knife up against, like sliding up against freaking the invisible girl's face, marking her with blood. Strategic so that she can't run away and they know where she is. Deku can't help but just be disgusted at what she's doing. She's holding up a knife, and then Deku says, "Sorry, but that's where you crossed the line." He throws Aizawa to the right of him, throwing him to the ground. He jumps and stabs her knife actually into her back, making blood splatter everywhere. As the blood starts to siphon through the knife and goes into his skin, it seeps through and then courses through his veins. Her quirk was being molded into him. This sense of power and thing was nothing like the heartbreak he felt for killing her. He felt bad, yes, but the kid, at least he's okay. He gets kicked by Aizawa onto the ground, scarfing up his favorite suit. Aizawa picks up freaking, invisible girl. She says, "Who was that?" "I don't know, but the villains, they're going after your classmates. Let's go." "All right, what do you want me to do?" "Nothing. Just, well, actually, he'll get you if you do nothing. Stay, I'll give you a freaking, like backpack hike, basically, where he puts her on his shoulders as he runs and starts kicking down enemies. Deku gets up, rubbing off all the dirt on his suit, getting very, very mad, as he just killed basically what would be his ex. For these guys, they just marked up his suit. What the fuck? They earned to die. Wait, what? No. He soon realizes that when he killed Toga, since it was kind of out of, it wasn't out of hate though. So she starts going in his mind. She starts affecting his decisions, making him more emotional and mad than his usual composure, making him want to kill the students and kill Aizawa. "It's your duty, isn't it?" "No, what?" "I mean, yes, but the kids. The hell am I supposed to do when I'm ordered to kill a kid?" "Whatever. Doesn't matter. These guys, they want to murder kids. How evil. How disgusting. They repulse me. They earn to die." As he jumps down below, covering himself, using the blood that he got from Toga to turn himself into Toga. As he walks up next to Tomura, he says, "Did you do it?" And he says, "No, Aizawa still lives. The spy is dead." "Damn it. Guess it was false what they said. Knew that idiot would get himself killed. Always acting so high and mighty, what an asshole." "You're a fucking asshole. He was the one that killed so many people. I was only saying don't kill the fucking children, dude." "Whatever. This dude's unreasonable. I can't do anything." He suddenly summons the Nomu, freaking out Deku says in his mind, "This is my time to strike." He takes out his knife, jabbing it as 1,000 times, what seems like 1,000 times into the back of the Nomu. Suddenly Nobu just looks back at him, unaffected by any of the stabs as the wounds start to just heal up automatically. Throwing a punch straight to his face, Deku barely dodges it, as he expected that, but did not expect the knee coming straight towards his stomach. Shooting him up into the air, this knee was catastrophic to him, throwing him all the way up into the air, and then him falling back down to earth. He falls right in the middle of the combat zone, the sort of zone where Aizawa and most of the students had correlated. He gets back up, holding his arm and his stomach. His stomach was bruising wildly. He could barely even feel any breaths coming through. Was he dying? This can't be it, right? This can't be it. The Nomu starts to walk up on him, skulking, watching. It grunts and squawks as hard as it can, roaring and writhing. Its back is in such pain that it can't even describe, that nobody could describe realistically. This gigantic hole that he had just cut into the Nomu seems to be seething in pain as it had been infected with something. It can't heal it back as fast. It looks at him with pure rage in its eyes. Tomura saying, "Yes, do it," as suddenly Tomura is kicked away by Aizawa. And they start fighting too, with Shigaraki helping Tomura. So it starts to look at him with a vengeance. It riles up, and then suddenly somebody he can tell somebody hops onto him. Their knees covered in blood, as it was still bleeding out from the sides, and shoves something into its back. He looks over to see Momo, who had just crafted a bomb by the looks of it, looking in hope that it would explode. But the blood that had stained her had given her away, as the Nomu looks above, seeing her behind his brain, grabbing her face and then throwing her down as hard as he can. It shakes the ground with a mighty, thunderous roar. It seems to get madder and madder. As it does, it seems to get more powerful. Momo starts a countdown. 10, 9, 8. He's like, Deku says, "Why couldn't you make it sooner?" She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not that good at crafting bombs yet." God damn it. I'm basically crippled from this now. Damn it. This is what I get for being heroic. Fuck it. As suddenly the Nomu looks down and sees her bleeding. He says, "Oh shit, she's knocked out, isn't she?" He stands up on one knee, picking himself up, as it looks over to him, seeing, waiting, thrusting its hand down as hard as it can. Deku grabs her arms, throwing her out of the way. As she rolls across the dust, she rolls into a certain space. Well, realistically, only a few meters away from them. The Nomu goes for a left hook. He says, "A kid like her doesn't earn to die in a place like this. She earns to live out her life. For me, I've murdered thousands. I guess this is what I get." He picks out a double-edged knife that he had kept in his pocket if ever need be in an all-out fight. To death. To death do us part, I guess. What a simpleton's lie. He puts up his knife, jabbing it into the hand of the Nomu, making it squawk back as the dagger crushes into his hand too. You felt that one, huh? He gets rid of all the pain that he has, thrusting himself onto the Nomu, jumping on top of it, swinging himself onto the back. By this point, it grabs his legs, pulling them down, bashing them up, practically breaking both of his legs. He grabs onto the bomb, trying to stop it. And then suddenly it grabs his legs, ripping them down, throwing them under him. "No, I didn't get the bomb." This is where heroics get me, eh? Suddenly a gunshot can be heard. Is that true shot? The hero. No way. And dink. Suddenly the Nomu explodes, propulsioning Deku flying, just sending Deku just flying by this point. Flying and then landing right next to freaking the Invisible Girl. He's still alive, however. The Nomu gets back up, a skeleton of its former self. However, the bomb didn't kill its brain. It looks like it can't even regenerate that much anymore. It gets up, it's nearly in the grave, It charges as fast as it can as it's being shot down, all of its bones being destroyed by the six-shooter. But as its final charge, it charges at Deku. He dodges, rolling over under its legs, tripping it, making it fall, but its hand falls straight onto Invisible Girl's chest, killing her. The knife is still his, however, her blood seeping into it, making him notice something was different. The blood connects to him through the air. He says, "No, no, I don't earn this. This isn't mine. What? I don't want it. No." As it starts to collect onto him, the blood of an innocent. He can't handle it. The hero jumps down, aiming his six-shooter at the basically zombified Nomu, shooting it 6 times in the brain. He says, "I should have done this originally." "Hey you, I remember you. You're the spy. 6 missions ago, I was on it. You sure gave me one hell of a fight. Hey, you listening?" Deku's still in his head, just complicating everything that just happened. All the heroics that he tried. He was just trying to help, but nothing. In a physical fight, he's nothing. Except just some guy trying his best. He says, whatever, take this. Defend yourself, and get the hell out of here. You seem like you've gotten better since then. Maybe you've truly realized it, but you have a bright future, kid. Get out of here." Deku doesn't even pick up the gun. He's still staring forward. So basically, that'll end it for this episode. Thank you for watching. So much for watching. Maybe world will see each other somewhere. Sometime. Someplace. But until then, I guess I'll just see you later.